Maayong adlaw. So, padahan kita sa atong series kabahin sa mga nara na anaran na andan o unsay kasulti sa Biblia kabahin ng culture and narrative. So, last time we talked about Abel and Cain, ang ilang account, especially on Cain. Dako nga what's happening behind. We're trying to ask the question, what's happening behind people? Uh, Kita natong klaro kayo nga sa tao description nga dili gayud normal sa ato mag-angkon sa sala. Ah, Kita nato pinagi kang Cain ang pagkagay sa kasing-kasing. Ug gusto lang ko i-highlight balik na this is the second account of a death in the narrative of the Bible. The first one was the animal in the Garden of Eden nga iyang panit gahimong clothing sa Ginoo para sa tao because there's two man ang iyang normal nga tendency is to cover himself sa sin instead of confessing and repenting. And they clothe, God clothed them with the skin of the animal first nga namatay. Mingon ta namatay. Karon mingon ta the first sacrifice. Sakripisyo gayud. Now, Cain was a second death. Klaro din nga tao si Cain. We kept on referring before nga it was the first time in Abraham and Isaac that God was asking for a man as an offering. Okay, that is a direct correlation to Jesus. Tao siya, mamatay siya. But here, during the time of Abel, klaro naman day kayo nga naay tao nga masakripisyo. Nagayoy pagka nagay shades of Jesus. Kaya mo yung even as early as this story. We know why? Because sama ilang circumstances. Wala may gibuhat si Abel to merit ang angger sa iyang igsuon. Diba? He was just doing the right thing na nakita niya o nasabtan niya nga mo'y angay buhaton kung magduol si Ginoo. That's it. Mo lang to ang hinungdan nga suko kayo ang iyang igsuon. Ang iyang igsuon gikan pa sa Ginoo kung nagbuhat lang ka sa tarong if you that did the right thing. Very interesting because that God did not say if you did the right things. Okay, we have to take note of that. I have to bring back again us to the narrative. He said, if you did the right thing, and what was the right thing? To go to his brother, to ask for an animal, and mo to sacrifice. Okay? Not ang iyang hinaguan, gikan sa iyang abot sa iyang pag-uma. Okay? Pero he never did that. And in fact, wala gid siya nag-angkon sa iyang sala. Suko pagali siya sa iyang silot, tako daw kayo. And that's why he was sent away from the presence of the Lord. Naa na gyud, di ba, ingon ko nga, ingon kita nga sa chronological study nato nga hinahinay na unwrap dito ang Misaya sa storya, wala siya ngalan. Pero klaro kayo sa Old Testament ang mga pamaagi, ang si tawag ni picture gayud ni Jesus, an innocent man being killed, an innocent brother being killed by his own brother, and Jesus was killed by his own brother, though he had no sin, became sin. And very interesting po din na kay ang kasuko ni Cain, dili man niya directly maingon nga suko siya sa Ginoo. Okay, there is a challenge to authority. And that is the authority of God. Grabe, no? Dili man niya diretso maingon nga suko siya sa Ginoo. Pero yes, he was angry at God, but then iyang gibaling dito sa iyang igsuon, iyang gidirect dito sa igsuon, gipatay niya ang igsuon. And tinuod, when we get angry, we have to remember many times sa atong anger clouds everything sa atong decision. And why we get angry? It's because we do not get what we want. We do not get our ways. Diba? Mura sama sa bata. Remember ko sa story sa isa ka author nga talking about anger. Grabe magiling anger ni Cain din eh. The very thing that makes you anger is actually the very reason that makes you angry. I would like to remember how to rephrase it. But the idea is something is you get angry at something taken away from you. And that something is actually the reason sa imong kasuko is your idol. Okay? Now, example kang kain, idulugin kini ang iyang kaugalingon ang iyang paghago katong iyang abot sa iyang uma. Basta to nasuko gid kay siya nga dawata sa Ginoo. That was his idol. Motong iyang gitagaan gyud og pagtagad sa iyang kinabuhi. That That's why he was so angry nga wala gidawat si Ginoo. Pero God, the Lord was gracious to him. Oh, why are you angry? Diba? If you just did the right thing. Very specific. He did not say did the right things. If you just did the right thing, you will be accepted. Paro kayo Ginoo sa istorya. But no, Cain, Cain would not really listen to the Lord. Grabe kayo. Personal na like storya. O, grabe aging sa. And we also have that tendency as humans. We always do not admit with our faults. So, when we get angry at God many times, dili man directly sa iya, pero if you imagine our anger, actually sa Ginoo man na, kung naatay problema sa anger, good to go back here. Actually, we are angry at God also. Dito na to ga dito ta nasuko pero ato lang ipangbaling sa uban ng mga butang. So, we have to humble down ourselves and to honestly assess ourselves sa atong anger issues. So today, dito lang ta sa mga descendants of Cain and what's happening here and descendants of Seth. So there seems to be two groups of people here na karon. Kaya wala naman si Abel, namatay sa inosente siya. It's really a picture of the death of Jesus, the life of Jesus. He was innocent. He was killed by his own brother. And it's the same with Abel. He was killed by his own brother. Jesus was killed by the anger of the Pharisees. They had to find ways to kill him. But yun gid siya. Uh, Dili man masulti sa mga Pariseo nga sungko sila sa Ginoo pero ila lang gibalik ang Hesus dito na lang niya gikuan. So pag nagipagkapareha ang storya, so as early as in the narrative na nagyoy shades of the Messiah sa story. So I think we missed that one. I believe we missed that one sa atong chronological Bible study lesson. But here pa lang sa narrative klaro na. Um, and then we go to the next part which is the descendants, mga descendants. So that's why Cain was sent out of the presence of the Lord para kang adan og ni iba. They were sent out of the Garden of Eden and then they started their lives and that's where they had children. And what happened next? Si tawag gani, nanganak si Cain. Okay, na siya'y tulo ka anak. And these children were the start of the development. Okay? So, klaro kayo nga si Cain was a man of hard work and his descendants were people of hard work also. Grabing paningkamot. Uh, we are not saying nga dautan, pero kita po nato din ang side sa humanity kay di ba ingon din nga nanganak siya og in chapter 4 verse 17. Cain had sexual relations with his wife and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch, ngalan sa tao. Then Cain founded a city which he named Enoch, ingalan na siyang anak. So grabe no, so murag grabe gid kay nga pride ba nga this is mine, this is me. Okay, so ana si Cain even though ang grasya sa Ginoo nagyapon sa iya ha. Pakitaan sa grasya sa Ginoo, diba? Walay manghilabot sa iya ha kay kapito piluon ang silot. So, di bantayan gyud mo sa Ginoo. So, grabe ang iyang garbo. So, Cain was really a picture of man, hard work, paningkamot. Okay? So, moto yang nasa city. Anak siya, gingalan po niya sa iyang anak. Okay, and Enoch had a son named Irad. He became the father of Mehujael, became the father of Mehujael, became the father of Methusael and Lamech. Lamech married two women. The first name was Ada, second was Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal, who was the first of those who raised livestock and live in tents. So, mga unang sindiro. Okay, mo ni sila, livestock and in tents. So, namuyo lang sila sa mga tent. Wala gyud ingon nga temporaryo nga permanente nga balay, pero munti temporary. Natay word sa Bisaya no, temporary permanent. In English man na. Pero ana nga kinabuhi, wala gyud mga lasata kay mulakaw man ang mga baka, ang mga kanding, karnero, so ara sa balutan sa gamit. And that has been the life of people in the Middle East. Okay? So naapon din ta ang iyang ngalan si sa Tubal Cain. Ang iyang trabaho maghimo og mga forging of tools of bronze and iron. So high-tech na sa una, na sila yung mga kutsilyo, na sila yung unsa pa mga gamit ko birtos na bronze and iron man. So, most likely, mga, sa tama na, himo sila mga sundang, mga gamit. O kabalo na sila sa pag-process. Okay? Sa una pa nga time. Then, there was this one, so to isa, napaisa nga, he was very good at music. Okay? Akin si Jubal. The first of all who play the harp and flute. So na yung mga musician, artist. So, mo na siya livestock and tents, asindero, and then mga musician artist, and then mga bronze and iron, maayo sila sa aning side. So basically, ang mga descendants ni Cain, mga hardworking people. Okay? People who really develop cities. Grabe kayo ni. Now, we're not saying na dautan, pero okay. But there's this distinction here, clear distinction. Klaro mga distinction. And then the next part was the birth of Seth. Because wala na may anak sa, it says here nga, Cain, Abel, and Abel died, and Cain was sent from result. And next, there was no other son. Okay, I don't know kung unsay explanation ana, pero napa siguro lahat anak, pero more may na-highlight din eh. Okay, more may nasa narrative. And that's where there was a third son. He was name was Seth. And it seems like the story of Abraham, di ba nga, they thought that it was going to be Ishmael, but it was not Ishmael, it was through Isaac. And even to the time of Jacob, okay, they thought that it's going to be the elder sons, but no, it was the younger ones. And Joseph, that was that guy who was sent to Egypt, and then Joseph thought it was going to be the elder son, not but the blessing was on the younger son. So it's always anak perminti. So na din nga nitabo nga Eve thought it was going to be Cain, the elder son, but no, it was not. Okay, and then there was Seth, nagsunod. And it's very particular here, ingon din eh. When Seth grew in chapter 4 verse 26, when Seth grew up, he had a son named Enosh. At that time, people first began to worship the Lord by name. So there is this reference of people worshiping God, okay, by name. So ilaging gi-declare nga Ginoo among gisimba. First time ni nahitabo. So there what's happening here? Why is this in the narrative? It seems there is a distinction between two kinds of people. Descendants of Cain who are hardworking people, those who develop cities, those who live in lives who live through livestock and tents, mga kahayupan, and then those who in arts, okay, music and flute and harp, and then those do forge tools of bronze and iron, high tech na. They know how to deal with the with metal. So maybe they gikalot nila, gimelt nila. That's the only way to process it. And then there is these people who worship the Lord by His name. Dagan ang discussion unsa man ni public worship, but it seems it suggests it's only a declaration that our God is the Lord Himself. Okay, it's very simple as that. Worship is very simple in its description here. Uh, a public declaration that we are of God sa Ginoo mi. Okay? As simple as that. Okay, as simple as that. So mao na din karon din this is the written account in chapter 5 of the descendants of Adam. He was like 930 years old. So kas kayo nga edad. Okay? And then that's why we move into the story of Noah later on. That will be the next topic. But what's happening here? There seems to be a distinction of two kinds of people. The descendants of Cain who really worked hard, okay, and they're proud of the developments that they have made. And I'm not saying that's that good, okay? We see here nga ang tao, maayog yun ang tao, okay, they were created in the image of God, di ba? So na sila pangunahuna, pagbati, choice, and they had this ability, okay? But there's also this another group of people. They were the ones who publicly declare that they are of the Lord. They worship the Lord by His name. So, what's happening here? What's behind this? Okay, yeah. What can we get from here? That's the question that needs to be answered. Now, we're not saying that it's evil to be like Cain, hardworking. But I think the reminder here is that we should be on the side of those who declare that we are of the Lord's, di ba? We are of God's. Wala man pag-describe kung unsang klase nga tao ah si Seth unsa iyang trabaho, wala man naklaro din ni. But we just know that out from him came the Messiah. Dito ginigawa sa iya. It was not through the descendants of Cain. Klaro man na nga kung sa Ginoo to keep the line pure na the Messiah will come out not from Cain who was of hard work, okay, identified of hard work, but it was one of hard identified of the Lord's, worshiping the Lord by His name. Karo ba na? So it was not of hard work ang identity sa Messiah, but it was one coming out of a people who openly declare that they are of the Lord, that they are of God's. That's very important to keep the line of the Messiah. Okay? That walay bahid sa paningkamot, hago. Okay? It doesn't say nga dautan to, but that's what it says here in the narrative. So, maulan na atong discussion karon for this Wednesday. Hope you have having a great week and even a few days remaining of this week. And see you on Sunday.